What is going on, guys? So look, here we're going to go ahead, we're going to go over a um, blitz that I use to pretty much complement the coverage defenses that I use at a 3-3-5. All right, so I'm going to go over um, the actual defense first, the secondary coverage D that I use, and then I'm going to show how I use that same defense to turn this into a extremely difficult blitz to block, even if your opponent is max protecting. So the play that I'm going to focus on is going to be out of the nickel 3-3-5. The play is loop crash 2. So the base setup to this is you want to base align. You want to take this outside linebacker on the left, put him into a bluff blitz. What that does is it will put him into a 3-receiver hook. After that, you can deep blue this middle linebacker, and then you either want to move him to the right, to the left, doesn't really matter which way you actually move him. Pretty much, just disguises what we're doing, right? So we can disguise it by moving him to the right, and then you play in this other hook zone. What I also like to do when I do this is I will, more times than not, I will take the defensive end on the right, I'll put him into a spy. So this gives me a 3-rec, a spy, a vert hook, which is going to be my user, and then you can pick and choose what you want to do with the outside corners. Sometimes I'll put them in soft squats, sometimes I'll put them in hard flats, sometimes they will play clouds. It just really depends. Of course, if you want to move down your safeties, you can do so there, but for the most part, that's how it's going to work. It's going to be a 3-man rush, and this is just going to be a coverage D. The reason that I like it is a lot of the times, if your opponent is not sending anybody or not blocking anybody extra, a lot of times that corner will still come in free. It's just kind of random. Doesn't happen all the time. I'd say it's probably maybe even 20%. Like, it's not consistent at all in terms of him coming free. But sometimes it will. And when it does, it's just going to completely annoy your opponent. But the main purpose of this is to get the good, coverage behind it. So once again, you're deep bluing this middle linebacker, bluff blitzing this outside linebacker on the left. You can baseline if you want. You don't have to. So if you don't baseline, it works just the same. And then it's optional, but I prefer to spy the defensive end on the right. Whenever you do that, it doesn't really matter what your opponent does. Here we'll go ahead, we'll just block the running back. You'll see you're basically just lurking around the middle of the field. Same as you normally would with a cover 2, you just got an additional 3-rec out there to help you guard different routes. So that is the main, not the main coverage. That's my secondary coverage D that I really like. The reason I use this play as opposed to Tampa 2 is because of the fact that I can bluff blitz this linebacker to get a 3-rec. Whereas in Tampa 2, you would have to bluff blitz the corner, and you see the corner will go into a 3-rec, which you can do there as well. So that's another coverage that you could use if you wanted. But I prefer to use the other one because I do like soft squats. I feel like a lot of people aren't really used to facing soft squats because they do react as man coverage, and they also stop the run much better than cloud flats. So here you see the cover. Here's the coverage with the Tampa 2. You see it's good. You got the additional 3-rec. But I feel like you get more time in the pocket if your opponent is, not max protecting, right? So if they send out 5 routes, you will still get some decent time in the pocket with this Tampa 2 setup as opposed to the loop blitz. Now, in the next video, I'm going to go over how I'm actually getting pressure out of this. It is a completely different look. I'm not trying to disguise, the coverage portion. I'm not really trying to disguise it. When I'm using this look, I'm sending heat. So in the next video, you guys will see what I'm doing to actually scream at my opponent, especially in max protect situations from nickel 3-3-5.